Hello, everybody. Welcome to our video podcast. My name is Vicky Rine. I'm with the Spark program at Boysville, and I'm glad y'all joined us. We're here to talk about some emotions today. I was always thinking about, oh my goodness, emotions are such a difficult thing, I think, for parents to deal with. First off, you love these people more than you love your next breath. And then when they get sad or disappointed or they feel slighted in some kind, it's natural for us as parents to want to protect them and defend them. I mean, have you ever heard the scenario where your child gets uninvited or not invited to a birthday party and you're just like, oh, don't be sad over that. It's okay. We'll go do something else. But here's the thing about emotions. They're real. Not only are they real, they need to be validated and acknowledged. Most of us, if we had to put our emotions in a good or a bad category, we would be able to do that with literally no problem. We would say anger, bad. Happy, good. Sad, bad. Excited, wonderful, those type of things. Because we've all gotten messages our whole life about emotions and what it's like to feel them. And I often tell parents, I said, think of the good and the bad emotions, because we all know, spoiler alert, there's no good, there's no bad. They're just emotions. As early as 4 months old, children will develop that emotion of anger. Anybody with an infant, you can hear the difference in their cry. It used to be more displeasure. And then come 4 months old, it's more like, you better get in here with that bottle and you better get in here now because I am hungry. And you can hear the difference. So if a 4-month-old baby, if emotion comes into play at 4 months, we can clearly see that there's no good and there's no bad. What emotions are their feelings. Feelings of discomfort or feelings of comfort. That's all it is. So when we separate them out like that, it helps us not to vilify a particular emotion. My mama used to always say when I was a kid, Victoria, you have the same shoes to get glad in as you got mad in. Which is so not helpful. Or she would use that proverbial, you want something to cry about? I'll give you something to cry about, right? I'm sure many of us have heard our parents say that. And I used to think as a kid, I'm already crying. What? It never made sense. So I'm here to talk to y'all about making emotions intelligent, making your child, I should say, emotionally intelligent. So helping them understand what it is they're feeling. So how do they know what they're feeling? How do we know what they're feeling? Well, again, as I've said before, and I'll always say again, children speak in behavior. So when we look at their behavior, we're able to kind of discern what it is that they're feeling. I mean, clearly, if your child throws something across the room, that's not, oh yay, I'm so happy and excited. That's anger. Or if they stomp, well, something good has not happened to this child. Or if they smile and they're at peace and they're giggling and they're laughing, we know that they're happy. So children speak in behavior. So we need to understand, what is their behavior telling us? Now, the way to help your child literally become emotionally intelligent is to name the behavior for them. I see you throw your backpack. I see you slam the door. I see you yanked a chair out from underneath the table. I see whatever. Name their behavior so that they learn that when they feel like throwing their backpack or slamming a door, doing that kind of thing, that signifies that they're angry and they can start communicating to us in a way that helps us build a relationship with them. Because emotions, especially when they tend to get square in the way of your relationships with your loved ones, they can create a how do I want to say it? Kind of create just this disconnect with parents and kids. I got the message early on that if I wanted to approach my mom, I better be happy, or at least behave as if I was happy. Because if I did not, whatever I was trying to convey was not going to come across because she wouldn't listen. That's too much responsibility for a kid to have to think and discern and go through that kind of thing. And here's the thing, it teaches kids how to manipulate the relationship and not have an honest relationship. And I know every parent out there that's listening wants to have an honest relationship with their child. Some parents will tell me when I talk to them about telling their kiddos to say I'm sorry when they have done something wrong, they will say, well, they're not sorry. And you kind of smile and you look at them and go, that's right. They're not. But they have to have an understanding of, hitting somebody is not a very empathetic reaction to what that kid did. So I need to learn how to control my emotions. Now, it's very hard for kids to control their emotions, and there is a biological reason why. Children's brains grow from back to the front, so this is the last thing to develop, this prefrontal cortex, but importantly, it grows from inside out. Now, that inside is your limbic system. That inside is your emotional seat. So I want you to put that in perspective. This part of the brain on top is your higher thinking. That's where you do all your thinking. Your limbic system that sits right there in the middle of it is where you do all your feeling. And it develops a lot quicker and a lot faster than this thinking portion of your brain. So that's why children have no problem demonstrating their emotions. You don't believe that? I want you to pay attention when you go to Walmart or Target or H-E-B. Listen to the kiddos that are there. Listen to their mamas correcting them. Some of them, you'll see them flat out rolling around, kicking and screaming on the ground. When I see that, I go, oh, look at that. Their limbic system is developing right along track. So, understanding that helps us to recognize it, and it helps us to acknowledge it, and it helps us to understand how to help them and guide them. Because here's the thing, that's our job. We're here to guide. We're here to direct. We're not here to make them. We're here to encourage them. We're here to empower them. If you want those kiddos to become the best possible version of themselves, they learn from modeling their behavior after you. So, some of us need to look in the mirror, including me. I have a go-to emotion. I think most of us do. Mine is anger. Mine is definitely anger. If I stub my toe, I get angry. Somebody cuts me off in traffic, I get angry. I have a go-to emotion. What is your reaction to those emotions? Understanding that helps you to remember what it is you're modeling for your kiddos. Some of us have a hard time saying we're sorry. I want you to think of that in a different light. Saying you're sorry, it doesn't mean that you're wrong. Okay, I'll say that again. Saying you're sorry doesn't mean that you're wrong. and that the other person is correct. It just means that your relationship with that other person is more important than your ego. And remember this also, feelings never dictate truth. Just because I feel something about something doesn't make it true. It just means it's my perspective. And my perception is my reality, as your perception is your reality. So feelings don't dictate truth. So just because we feel like we were wrong doesn't necessarily mean that we were wronged. And try really to be the one that's in control of your emotions. Recognize why you feel the way you feel. Recognize how you feel. Don't allow other people to make you feel a particular way. They don't have that power. They do not have that power. So when I hear kids say, he made me do it, he made me, I always bring up, they don't have that power. You're in control. But it's up to me to help them learn how to be in control. I started thinking about one particular emotion. It doesn't matter how old you are. It really doesn't. You can be very little or very old. And I think disappointment is probably the hardest emotion to deal with. Why? Disappointment destroys all hope in your head, right? Disappointment is there's a delayed expectation. You get really excited and then you're disappointed that you can't do it and you get this real delay. I thought about this in all this pandemic, how much disappointment people have experienced through 2020 and 2021 as well. My daughter included. She was supposed to get married. And then she was supposed to get married again. And then she was supposed to get married again. And you see where that's going. It's just you had that delay expectation. And she's not the only one. There's been struggles the whole time. And when we get that, it feels like almost our dreams have been abandoned and the plans are just completely failed and it's over and you just don't want to deal with it anymore. So when our kids are little, and let's say you say y'all are going to go play somewhere, some neat place to play, and you can't. And they get disappointed. And they don't look at you and they don't gently say, I'm so disappointed, do they? No, I act like fools. They cry and they pitch a fit and they say, you're a liar, and they do all those kinds of things that children do. I want you to understand what that disappointment meant to them. It doesn't mean that you can't disappoint them. It just, again, helps us to understand the significance of how difficult that is for them to overcome, so that it helps us to stay calm. It helps us to be relatable. It helps us to build those relationships, because I'm here to tell you, everybody out there that's listening that has kiddos, you have 18 years. That's it. 18 years sounds like a very long time. But if I have found one thing in life to be true, it is absolutely how fast time goes by. I mean, sometimes I think, it's been maybe 5 years since and I find out it's almost 10 years. It's just amazing how time flies. So I'm here to encourage y'all. Help your child recognize what it is they're feeling. Before you can help them, I want you to recognize your own feelings, what you feel. Your body's going to react, your body's going to respond. Feel that, understand that, acknowledge that. And then I want you to make sure that you make better choices when you're dealing with those hot emotion, disappointment, anger, frustration, irritation, annoyance, jealousy, envy, all those that really do hit our hot buttons hard. Thank you guys for joining. I look forward to hearing from y'all, and I look forward to talking and visiting with y'all. I guess the next couple weeks. Take care. Bye.